I'm
relative.
not I'm not sure exactly what everyone's plans are right now. Um, I'm sure we have to speak to Minerva again to maybe call the mothership back this way, but I need to go back to the Fairlands.
Why in such a hurry, Judith?
There's a lot of these ties, Aria, and I need to speak to my editor to help give him more details of what's actually going on. I'm just sending him letters and photos and stuff, and I think there's a discussion is going to be in order. And maybe, Amber, that's a good point. Maybe we can speak to Miss Pendragon at the school.
I very much would wish to go back there. And also, hopefully, Minerva brings me Aethon. Hopefully, he hasn't hatched while I've been away. That'd be a very. She, like, thinks for a moment, hoping the baby is not violent from the get go. Oh. Oh dear. I just hope he's okay.
Before I am presumptuous and communicate with Minerva, do any of you have open communication with her you'd wish to pursue instead? And she's kind of looking at Lewis.
I guess how long has it been since we started on a hunt for the Hollow King? We're not exactly sure how many days have passed after all.
One of your soldiers said it was a week
Now
that
I
we
see.
that we had been in there.
We had burnt up all of our training days.
Right.
I had to let her know that we came out of it when we did.
I hope they did not tell Dondo I died. He would be beside himself.
Aria is going to open her book and just write in it a message to Minerva that they would love a visit from her as soon as it fits in her schedule.
And bring Aethon.
And to bring Aethon.
Are there people in the city?
No, definitely
Okay.
not. Now you would actually looking into the city, you would see that some animals have gone in, but yeah. No one attended. The front gate is open. It's probably a good idea to close that.
Lewis,
I imagine there's quite a few people in Icarus that have been dishoused because of the attack. I wonder if there's any structure in place to see which people would make good candidates for bringing a place like this back to life.
That is an excellent idea, Ria. Lewis, you could use so much of the spare space to give people a second chance if their lives in Icarus don't become so difficult.
Part of why I decided to actually take up the place in the park. Take up the place. To be able to help a little bit. But we won't be able to do that unless we're able to prove that I actually own it.
I mean,
I had
doesn't Judith have live recording of your deserve it to Avatar? You fought a powerful Maltha, and with its death, you've earned it by combat and by blood.
I have the recordings, but again, if someone else had laid claim to this area, it's just going to make things a little more complicated.
Well, that's
yeah,
the thing, is it not? No one remembers this place, not until that Maltha was defeated.
Well, that's where things start to get a bit complicated.
Is there more to that story now?
I'm gonna pull out a waffle.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get the waffle. I'll put the waffle on my plate, and I'll get a small piece of bacon, and I'll say, "All right, let's say someone owns this waffle, all right?" And then one day, without anyone really noticing, and I'll put a piece of bacon in the middle of the waffle. I'll say, then one day, this piece of bacon is on the waffle. The person who owns the waffle is going to own the piece of bacon.
DM, how close are we to Icarus? Would we have an idea that we need to go to the Icarus government and look for land property rights or whatnot?
It's tough. I mean, you certainly can't look out your window or over the cliffs and see Icarus. But you could be close to it. You don't know exactly. I suppose when you meet up with the others, they can give you more detail of how far you are from the main lands. Or if maybe one of you can find a map in here, which, you know what? Amrut's gonna look around and be like, I wonder how close we are to Icarus. What if we're next to Doomdelia, for example? Who's to say we came out real close? But spoiler, at the very least, you are in that general area. Imagine. So he says he's gonna go find a map.
Watch, we just popped out on the other side of the continent somehow. Well, remember when I split off from you guys yesterday?
Mhm.
Well, the night led me to the treasury of the place. And down there, it seems like the Guardian. Does the name Godbrand ring any bells for any of you?
Does it? I'm
Relig-
kind of old.
Religion roll. I give you advantage since you're kind of old. I would never ask a lady her age.
It definitely does. Can I roll as well?
Yeah, sure. Also, did you have multiple exhaustion, or you just didn't take off the tick?
I had 2 exhaustion.
Okay, but it is a disadvantage, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, 15's good. Yeah, the two of you, you've heard of the God Dragon, Godbrand. Though, funny enough, most people think that Godbrand is a male for whatever reason, but it's a female ancient dragon. You know that it's represented in the pantheon. It's not among the 12 that are most important.
I mean, it's an ancient dragon, but
Well, it looks like they're currently living in my basement. So,
There's a dragon living in your basement?
yeah. From the sounds of it.
one of
Can
Aria's
we-
eyebrows goes up.
Can we speak to this creature? This deity, I guess.
I'm honestly not sure. Then I'd explain that I'm the only one able to get down there.
Lewis, this dragon is down there of its own free will, right? You're not being weird now.
Of course not.
You said that. You're the only one who can go down there.
From the sounds of it, at least.
Well, that's something.
Very curious.
They explain that it seems like this area's already been kind of laid claim to. Some guy named Morgan.
Excuse me.
Why does that
I-
ring a bell?
There's only one Morgan I know of. J.P. Morgan.
Wasn't that the statue of that guy from that oracle place?
Yeah, but he's. It can't be this. There has to be more than one Morgan in the entire continent.
I do not know, Judith. I do not believe in coincidences.
Maybe. Whoever it is, they have to have quite a bit of influence to have quite a bit of property.
See, Judith just starts to cringe. Yeah. If what you're saying is correct, and J.P. Morgan is the Morgan who owns this land, this is going to be a lot harder than we thought.
Why's that?
J.P. Morgan is the guy he created or started the business up of Divination Daily. I also believe that he has influence over the Icarus government in some way. I'm not sure. He has really powerful ties, and a lot of people think that he's dead, but he's also been sending me, he's been gonna say sliding into my DMs. He's been he's been he's been reaching out to me for a multitude of reasons. He's also the one who showed me the image of all of you guys dead. Remember?
Oh, how rude.
Curious.
Yeah.
Did it even look like a heroic death, or was it more embarrassing?
Hey, sorry, I found a map.
Thank you, Amrut.
Yeah. So it looks like we're about 60 miles away from Icarus. But we are in its general, there seems to be lines. We are in its territory. Its general territory. Whether that means Icarus owns the property or someone could own the property. I don't know about any of this type of stuff.
Well, while you were gone, apparently, according to Lewis, Morgan thinks he owns this place.
Freeman?
I don't think Lewis had a second name.
Oh, okay. No, I just knew a guy named Morgan Freeman, but probably not the same guy.
It's I believe, Judith knows this man, J.P. Morgan, Amrut.
He starts eating his bacon faster.
What's the date? The date on the map, Amrut?
Like it's 970 something. It's a little, not exactly. He shows you the map. It's pretty rough. You can even see some of the landscapes are different.
Wow.
Nine something. What year is
Wait,
this?
no, that's 9-7. So what? The number in front of it's missing, not the number behind it.
Yeah, I get the feeling that map might be a little bit outdated.
You guys are currently in 975. So it is 9-7, probably of 700 years ago. So probably
I
about
see.
575 and of course, it's just cleanly translated that it's an exact number, a whole number. Since the last two are 75.
We need to try and convince these people that Lewis owns a really old waffle.
Maybe we hold on to that map. That might be useful as well.
Lord Lewis, City of Tears, permission to enter.
Come in. No reason to be so formal.
It appears the one from below has miscounted the amount of gold in your treasury by a tragic amount.
How much are we talking here?
He explains to you.
Oh. It's a lot more.
Wait.
remember one of those 705, which previously was 10,705 gold pieces. It's 90,705 gold pieces.
Lewis almost chokes on his drink.
Lewis, you were loaded.
Well, that's
Well-
good information to have since we're going to go talk to this Morgan person.
Yeah. I have never heard of this much gold, and even dragon turtles don't hold that much. It weighs them down to the ocean.
Well, at least we'll have a little bit of bargaining power if needed.
You could hire yourself I believe they call them lawyers? Sora looks to Judith. Is that a good idea? Although you make for a pretty good lawyer yourself anyway.
No, I'm no lawyer. Did Lewis tell us about all this stuff?
Was just about to get to that.
Yeah. And Durgan hands you a list of all the stuff in there, including the fact that the naked male statue isn't actually a naked male at all. It just looks kind of eroded. But it's a guy holding a duck in an awkward position.
What? Oh no.
Not Mr. Quackers.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of stuff down there.
I'm not sure how rich this J.P. Morgan fellow is, but with this amount of gold, I think you could contend with him if he fights with it.
That's
Or
if it is his goal, that's right.
Or perhaps make him think this place is decrepit and falling apart and not worth anything. He might be more likely to hand it over.
If anything, we definitely don't let him know that how much money Lewis has in here.
Although we're talking as if J.P. Morgan or whoever actually owns this place. That's not true. Lewis is the rightful owner, at least now.
And maybe with the
Yeah.
help of the other Pendragons, we can help our cause here.
You feel like calling up your maybe aunt, maybe niece back at the academy, Lewis?
Yeah. Honestly, that might be our best path. Right now, we just need to figure out what connections we actually have.
Hey,
Without
maybe you can get a family reunion.
that-
During Aria's communication with Apollo, because she had, well, I don't know if she would have said to ask that Pendragon about it, but I don't know if he would have just instinctively done it.
Well, he might have, based on the amount of information he gave, inquired with one of them. There's
She
two
is
Pendragons.
going to open her book and this time message Apollo. It's been a little while since they've been down here making breakfast and everything. Inquiring if there is a mode of transportation for them to visit the academy.
Sure. Eventually he would get back to you, probably when you guys is finishing up breakfast, and he would tell you that they could send someone over to let you. Or better yet, Minerva, her flying ship, could get you here in a few days.
I think perhaps we need to decide where we want to go. Do we want to go to the university to seek familia or familial? How do you say a family? Whatever.
Familial.
Help. Or if we want to go to Icarus and seek out this Morgan. But Judith, you said you wanted to go to the Fairlands, so the academy's not far from there.
I wouldn't mind going with you all to the academy to see Dondo and Mello. Making sure they know I'm okay.
Agreed. We're probably gonna we need to check back in anyways. My study trip just about ended, so they're expecting us back soon.
Okay. So you guys all talk around the table, eat, and eventually you get that message of the year from Apollo telling you that that's probably the best route because there's no teleportation circle laid here yet, since it's an entirely new location. That you'll have to travel through the skies. Other than that, the Durgan and the other soldiers said that, do you want them to close off and fence the city for now?
Probably for the best.
What to do about all the goats? Do they slaughter them to eat them later or let them go home?
Yeah, let them go about their own business.
They're good lawnmowers.
Yeah.
You do notice that there's surprisingly that obviously we made food this morning. You might have questioned why 500 years later the food's not spoiled. It appears that the food that was here was preserved by Godbrand, as this place was kind of quite literally stuck in stasis. But you see that there's not a lot of it. Of course, money's not a problem right now. Something to consider. You might need to start figuring out a farming situation. And if this city doesn't get properly populated, it will fall to wear and tear faster as nature reclaims it quickly.
This is
Right.
just chaos at the moment, without its people. Just another building.
Well, looks like we got some work to do. Do you want to still call it the City of Tears, Lewis, or do you want to change it to something else as king?
We'll figure that out at a later date.
What about Lewistown or Lewiston?
No,
Please
please
no.
no. Amrut would say too. Why do you think it was even called City of Tears in the first place?
I was starting to think about Louisville, but I didn't actually think about that. Why do you think that is, Lewis?
I'm honestly not sure. Maybe it was renamed that after, well, what everybody thinks happened to Icarus. That he abandoned everybody.
Why don't you ask that God Goldbrand fellow? Maybe he knows. She, he. Sorry, still getting names correct with all these dragons.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Well, I'm gonna go
Alright.
get my paint ready. I will meet you in the throne room when you're all set to go.
Lewis, these this paper has it says you have these 3 history books.
Hmm.
Could I borrow them by chance?
Knock yourself out. I was never
Hey.
one for reading much.
I can't go in your vault, right? So if you could grab them,
No
please, that'd
worries.
be great. Thank you.
I'll do what I can to find him.
Thanks.
I'll put us on the overview map now. So we're just kind of all gonna move all over the place.
He
Well,
is going to try to venture out into the city and just take stock of approximately how many houses are like very close to being suitable for inhabitants and just trying to get a layout of the place for hopefully filling in the future.
And I go with you.
Absolutely.
all right. So the two of you set out to there. And so we'll touch on that immediately after Lewis. So Lewis, you go down to your vault, and you see that Godbrand is there. Well, I guess you just see the bones. You don't really see her move much.
Lewis comes down, just hands in his pockets, not really like taking care for his posture or anything like that, and just comes down. Morning.
Morning, Lewis. I heard that I miscounted the coin.
Yeah, seems like it. Based on the papers, at
No
least.
one can account for inflation.
Yeah, I guess. Has been a couple 100 years.
Seems that it is actually more valuable. Typically, it is less.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how that works.
We attempt
Gold's
to
never
pay
been
those walking soldiers. They look like they don't even have souls.
If they'll take it.
One of them was complaining. There's so much gold. There's so much gold to count. And they still apparently get exhausted.
Well, at least they have a bit of their personalities left.
Do you know that one of them are capable of casting spells?
Well, that'll be useful.
Just cantrips, but yeah. One of them was photographing, the other one laying on the gold. Putting a thumbs up, 2 fingers, and even a short reel about how oh yeah, this is my gold.
He just raises an eyebrow.
I'm sure it was
Concerned.
all in good jest. They did tear up the photos produced afterwards, so
Good to note. Well, there's a few things I was actually wondering. And there's few people that I could actually ask. Do you
Yeah.
actually know why this place is called the City of Tears?
that's obvious. Because of what it cost to acquire. The pain and suffering. This was the place all the people abused by the Lords of Sundale retreated to. Many had their families torn from them. Children, wives, husbands slain. And this place was a place of grief, but it was also a place of freedom. A place where they could start fresh. But of course, that pain lingered in their minds, so they would never forget from where it came. They called it the City of Tears. That no matter how many years passed, we would not get complacent.
Seems fitting.
Yes, though it is your city, of course, we'd like to change its name. I may go against the presidents of never forgetting, though I suppose they all already forgot.
We'll see. For the time being, I have no real intentions of it.
It also has a title, the Valley of the Twin Dragons. You are not allowed to change that.
I wouldn't dream of it, as Lucius gives like a joking, bow, half bow.
So, young lord, is there anything else you inquire about this day?
There was, if I remember correctly, this place was hidden by magic before I laid claim to it, right?
When everyone began to forget, I had used my gold shine, the ability for the sun to erase. I hid this place, preserved it in a permanence. And I died here, unable to realize how much time moved. The Hollow King would eventually seep into my mind. Luckily, my power preserved this place. You may notice that the bread is not stale, and the milk is not spoiled.
And I appreciate it. Do you know how long before people will probably stop being able to find this place?
This is a large location. All it takes is a few eyes on it, and then the news will spread like wildfire. Many may think it is a hostile new location. None truly know its history anymore. People will come for this place. Maybe the tribal creatures that live in the nearby areas, wandering trolls, ogres, and cyclops. The city is built to withstand a siege, but it does not have the manpower, the people power, I should say. I do hate gendered speech, just so you're aware, young man.
Understood.
You may need to outfit this place appropriately. Otherwise, you could close the gate, but if there's no one there to watch over it, then the creatures will climb the walls.
Yeah, right now it's nothing more than a sitting duck. We're gonna need to do a lot of work.
Yes. Be careful though. There's a local region that I've noticed recently that have been spying on the kingdom. We've been here for a day, a night. There's already people poking their nose into our business.
Not too surprising.
They're within our walls as we speak.
His eyes just become stern.
Filthy
Yeah,
animals, goats, running amok.
They're fine.
Are you sure? There was a bed that I had kept made for hundreds of years. One of them came inside, ate the curtains, and pooped all over it.
We know I could definitely see why you wouldn't want them around.
Nasty, vile creatures. Only they should be turned to dust at the earliest convenience.
Just like a moment.
I do seem to be rather chatty late. But you can imagine I haven't had a conversation in some 500 years. But I have a lot on my chest. I suppose I don't even have a chest anymore. I'm a bag of bones. So much revelations have hit me, Lord Lewis. So many things.
Well, it has been a while since you've been awake.
Anyways, if you're okay with the goats, then I suppose we have not been invaded just yet.
That's good. Right. For the time being, I think that's all I can really ask. Oh, actually, there might be one thing. On the list, it mentioned 3 history books. One's for Atlantis, Sundale, and Science Garden.
Yes.
Could you help me find that?
Of course. I may not have understood the value of the gold, but I do know everything that's in this room. And she would move her bony tail. She doesn't move too often. Looks like it does take a little bit of effort for her. She's reserving her strength if there's ever an assault on the village, or rather a small kingdom. But she does move around a tiny bit, and as the gold seems to fall to her will, separating, you could see the books. Atlantis, city once sunken. Sunsdale, now Icarus. And Zion's Garden, sacred place that few can travel to. Are you a scholar, like your great-grandfather was?
Unfortunately not, but some of my allies are.
Your father, or your grandfather, I should say, in place of saying great-great-great-great-grandfather constantly, just call him grandfather. It sounds all right. Your grandfather was a believer of Zion, the creator. He followed him very closely. It was by Zion's voice he heard in a dream one day that he took Sunzales back from the Hollow King. I'm not sure if you're religion type, but Zion is real, you know. Many of the Pantheon are real. But there's one fake one, though. The flying spaghetti dragon is not real.
Good to note.
All right, be on your way. I will go back to talking to the cobwebs and the spiders that have equally infiltrated into your rings.
Alright. Don't worry, I'll be sure to be back as soon as I can. We're gonna be heading out for a while, so try to keep the place in decent order.
Yes. I guess another 500 years of servitude is exactly what I should expect.
Only if you want to.
I'm kidding. It's a joke. Have jokes failed to inflation as well?
No, it's alright. Just how I am. Actually, let's see here. Takes another look at the list. And just kind of looks around at the pile before eventually stumbling on the deck of dragons, Warhorn, the bronze dragon, and Centaur's hunting bow. Might need these.
And don't forget these. She ushers the cups. You won't look official unless you're all sitting around a beautiful large table with the same exact cups.
Maybe next time when we get the chance.
Oh, and
We're gonna do
these.
anything, so.
Silk robe. Why wear clothes when you can walk around naked? You're the king after all, with a silk robe to cover your goods.
You're an interesting one, you know that?
In a bird cage at the center, you could put that poop they left on the bed.
Alright. I'll leave you to your business for the time being.
She rambles a little bit as you leave. You can definitely tell she's catching up in those 500 years.
Yep.
So as you leave, the other two enter the city. Judith and Aria. When you guys get into the city, you can see that there's probably around 50 homes, which for a city is not a lot. It's more like a village. But because I guess you can equate this to more of a keep or a small kingdom, you see that in the first 2 or 3 homes, and then the rest are going to be very similar, say for a few that are meant for nobles versus commoners or big families, I guess. They all have curtains, they have beds with clean sheets on them, and the most crazy part is that there appears to be running water in all of them, so there's some type of sewage system working in there. But since you see so many waterfalls in the area, it's also possible that they just found a natural route that whenever you open these valves, water from the waterfall falls out. It's fresh as it gets.
It is so canny. these houses look like they're lived in, but there's nobody here. I can't help but think of what happened to the people that used to call this place home.
It's a bit creepy. It's like we're walking through a ghost town.
Only I don't see any ghosts. She's going to open a drawer. Like, are there personal items in these houses?
So when you go into, so there's the bigger houses, and then there's a small house. Do you think you would want to check out the bigger ones first? Because there are different stuff.
Whatever's closest to the palace, because it would have been one of the first.
Sure.
One of the few first that she would go to.
The closer to the palace, the bigger houses look like they can have 5 or 6 people or a large family. So as you go into one of the rooms, you can see that there's 3 bedrooms in here. There's 1 bath, and in the drawers, lined up very neatly, are general affections, including expensive stuff like a makeup kit, brush, and other small amenities, even shirts that are in various sizes. They're not listed with sizes, but back then you just saw something and if it fits you, put it on. So there's just a bunch of different sizes.
Judith, I'm actually having second thoughts. It seems wrong to have someone new move in here.
It is. Every house has their personal stuff still in it, huh?
This is so unsettling.
Are there any paintings of like portraits?
And the closest house, no, because resources were tight getting him in here. And even though it looks nice, I mean, there's no one here to waste a few resources. This morning's breakfast example would not have been enough to feed a village. In any case, there are in one of the rooms several pieces of parchment with crayon drawings on it, but no paintings.
The crayon isn't like, it looks like a child.
Yeah, it looks like a child chalked it up or something like that, yeah. And it's left out, presumably exactly where it was when this place went dark.
Well, what does it say?
Well, it's drawings. It doesn't say anything, but you see a little picture of a dog, then 2 adults and 3 kids. And again, it's scribbled and all that stuff. It's not very detailed. It's definitely a child drew it.
I'll just fold it nicely and put it in my pocket.
I think we have another question for King Newell to ask his golden dragon.
Yeah. If this place just ceased to exist, like you said, like what happened to the people?
I mean, is it possible they popped to someplace else?
Or
They couldn't have all died. Oh my goodness.
or maybe they all just, in their minds, just they appeared somewhere, like they're in a forest. They don't know where to go. So they probably made their way to Icarus. That sounds like it's the closest city.
Made new lives for themselves. I wonder if would this place reappear and if their memories would be restored. Oh, but that was 500 years ago.
Yeah. I think even if we were, that might be another thing. I might be also paranoid right now. But I wonder if does every person own one of these houses? Can I like go look, see if there's like a desk in one of these places and see if there's like any kind of...
But there is an immediate concern from you. On the second level of this family house, you can hear something rumbling in the room above. It sounded like it was trying to be quiet, but it knocked something over.
I'll give it a little wave to Aria. Say, then I'll point, and I'll go up there and open the door.
Yeah, Aria's gonna walk up the stairs right behind her.
Okay, are you guys trying to be stealthy or just kind of run in, bust in real quick?
Aria would be calling out, "Hello."
Yeah, we're going in. I'm going in kind of quick.
Okay. Anybody there?
While she's shouting, you're like, Judith just kind of opens the door, busts open, And she's a goat dropping a dookie on the bed.
I am not.
Damn it, you startled me. Get out of here.
I am not taking a photo of that.
Adia will go around and close any windows that are open, let the stupid goats in, chase this thing out.
Well, how did this thing? Is there another stairway up? Like, how this thing got into the house? Closed the door?
I mean, the windows are open. It just crawled through one of the windows.
Got
We
it.
got large windows. They're all just kind of open, shut it out and everything. It got in there through the window. And this was the one that the dragon was talking about, because we can't, even though we talk one at a time, where everything's happening at the same time.
Well, I
Maybe we
guess
should-
there's lots of thought that needs to be given to this. On one hand, the people that used to call this place home are most likely no longer with us, no matter if it was then or if they lived out the rest of their lives somewhere else. But on the other hand, this has all got to get cleaned up before new people move in.
Maybe we should go look at a couple more houses. Maybe one of the smaller ones, as well.
Yes, Lord knows this place needs hard-working farmers, not rich nobility.
As we start to walk, I'll say, so how long do you expect to continue to spy on us?
She smiles a little bit. You are always forward with your thoughts. You still think I'm a spy. I haven't proven myself to you as of the events yesterday.
You've proven yourself, I guess, well enough. I'm not really someone looking for someone like yours approval, so it's not really that kind of a thing. But sorry, I know I can be forward sometimes. So
It's all right, it's refreshing. Some people will beat around the bush and not say what they mean.
Bleh.
Shoot.
um, this book that you have, it seems really interesting.
Yeah, I travel a lot, and it's a way for me to stay connected to those that I need to professionally and those I want to personally.
You can just write in it, and it goes to them, whoever it is, automatically.
Only to a select few.
And how can they communicate with you back?
Yes, when they purposefully respond, their words appear on the page. I have to prove to be a fast reader.
Well, I don't know if you have to use this, but as someone who appreciates a good ink, here you go. I don't know how much longer you'll be with us, but just to help show that I'm not, I don't have no ill will towards you. Here. And I'm going to give you a little vial of ink. It is the dark mantle ink that we got from the first time we went into the Mount that Feeds.
Ooh, is there a sheet on that, or it's just special ink but no special properties?
Yeah, not that I know of. I haven't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you, Judith. I'm afraid I don't have, well, I could give you something, but you don't come across as the kind of woman who would appreciate a rose.
Okay. Thank you, though. Oh, wait. There's a goat. There's a goat right here.
Yeah.
Adia will touch, swirl her ring around her finger, and a black rose will appear in her hand, and she will feed it to the goat.
Wait, why is it black?
Is it poisonous and shit?
No, she just can pick whatever color she wants.
So yeah, I mean, it just eats it just like real sloppily.
As it does, I go, "Hello there, goat." And
Yes.
I speak to the
Oh.
goat.
You're gonna talk to it?
Yeah. I'm gonna say,
This will be interesting.
well, fuck. I should have. If I use tongues, it can speak back to me. But if I use this, they can't.
Sure.
Uh,
I think tongues requires them to know at least one language, or it does.
no, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
Creatures that touch the this one grants a creature you touch. No, it grants them the ability to understand any spoken language it hears.
The
So
creature you touch, or against the creature you touch, the ability to understand. So so now it can understand you.
yeah. So I will not use my awesome new eloquence bard thing, and I will instead maybe the goat can tell us anything. I don't know, and I will touch the goat. So the goat can understand what we say, and we can understand the goat. Any-
Well, I'm looking at the goat real quick. Just that black, and I don't think they're very intelligent. What exactly are you asking it?
I don't know. I'm just gonna say, hello, goat. Do you have a name?
My Billy.
Billy, classic. Well, my name is Judith. This is my friend, Aria.
Good day.
We see that you've moved into the City of Tears. Congratulations, welcome here.
Where?
I don't know if there's a hierarchy in the goat family that you guys have.
I'm
But-
the leader.
You're the leader. Great.
You see a goat
Yeah.
outside. No, I'm the leader.
All right. Well, Billy the goat. You said you're the leader. We might be leaving for a little bit, so if you can just make sure this place is nice and clean. Maybe don't shit on all of the beds, please, because
Yeah,
that might be a
it's
problem.
fun. Drop a poop wherever.
Please don't shit on the beds.
And I'll just do it on the curtains.
Okay.
Hey, we can speak to each other more. That's cool.
It is cool. You know what? There's someone I think that you should probably meet.
Yeah, can you I need someone to clean my ass. You got a tongue that's long?
Oh, I got the perfect person. Come back with me, and I will lead the goat. If we're gonna head back, I will lead the goat back to introduce them to Sora.
I'll follow you. You try some shit, I ran you.
Eddie is probably like 5 feet behind them, just shaking her head.
Watch out, walking behind the goat.
Yeah, you do see that walking from behind him. You're not close, luckily. But every now and then he does secretly try to drop something while he's talking to Judith.
Can I try to persuade him at all to not shit all up to?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
he's probably gonna forget what you say like 30 minutes later, but for right now, yeah.
Okay.
We need to find a place to put all these goats.
Yeah. He tells you like, yo, all right, but for now I'll do it. Where we going?
Going to the palace castle. I don't know, Aria. What do you call this thing?
I don't think it's a good idea to let him in.
No, not inside.
Are you telling me? Are you telling me I'm the king of this place?
No, you're not. As we get close, I'll yell out, Sora!
All right, and Sora, well, before we get to Sora, because maybe she was doing her own thing. Sora, what were you doing while they were checking out the houses?
Sora had gathered her painting supplies and had made her way into the throne room where she's kind of setting up the easel, getting the paints all together. She looks at the size of her canvas and is just thinking, One of these days, I got to get something far bigger. I need a far bigger brush, too. It's always so annoying to have to go over every single minute detail. As she's kind of like speaking to herself, setting up the paint and everything.
They have a
What does
large
that smell?
collection. They have a large collection of paint, by the way. Colors you've probably never seen mixed together. Just so many.
Whoa. No, they have the good stuff here. Lucis was holding out on me. Well, to be fair, he just got it for a day. I have to be more understanding. She will gladly use these colors she hasn't even seen before as she's looking to some of the animated armors that are still there, gesturing at them to move a little bit, but they'll be in frame too. But she also, with the amount of paint around her, she was really trying to make sure she's being careful not to spill anything. But that's what she's doing at the moment while everyone's exploring the town and talking to Old Grand.
Why don't you give me paint the supplies check? 3 of them just for the duration. One check doesn't mean one picture. So over time you're painting, see how you're doing.
Of course. I will use my first inspiration. Actually, I'll hold off and see. All right, first roll. Okay, that's normal, so 25. Second roll. All right, and I'll use my inspiration on this last one. Okay. 25, 12, and 14.
Okay. And just so you know, 10 is kind of like the average artist, but that is someone who is still proficient. So we're not looking for these grandiose numbers of 20 or and above to make a masterpiece. With these 3 checks, you would have done a picture that very few could ever replicate. It's really great.
Essentially, Sora, as she's really focused on it, she's looking at the throne and looking at Lewis and imagining the king in her mind. And it comes out in this style where this is only kind of a reference into the paint style she uses. But Lewis is in center frame. His eyes are cast out, or eye cast out, distant, and maybe a bit lost, but there's power in there. With 2 knights that stand next to him, each knight actually having kind of a different color accent. One of gold and whites, and the other of deep purple and dark. And she just looks over Lewis and thinks for herself, I think this one, as she stamps her signature in the corner, we will call the King of Tears. And she would step away and let Lewis take a look at it.
Oh, finally done. My body was starting to get a bit stiff.
Sorry, you'll be feeling your butt again soon. I at least hope you like it.
He takes a look at the painting, and his eye kind of softens with a slight smirk on his face. Not bad. Especially since you haven't really been doing this for all that long.
I don't know what it
Very
is
nice.
about it, but I like to convey my love through it.
Well, it seems like you definitely got plenty to give.
As much as I can give. I think it's the only way we're going to beat the darkness. It's all surrounding, and I can't help but notice the pattern each time. The foe we face tries to turn us to our weaker senses, to fear, to hate. I think the only way is to push forward with love and confidence, Lewis.
It's a lot easier said than done.
Boy, is that not the truth, but I have earned what I say, I believe.
Well, we'll face things as we go.
So, go ahead.
No, go finish.
Oh, I didn't have anything at the moment.
So you, one of the knights tells you, Lewis, he just goes, "Shall we help your friend? He seems to be engaged in combat."
Which one?
He he ushers you and Sora to the window, and you see that Amrut has got one of the goats by both the horns and tosses him over one of the walls.
Oh no.
And then
Amrut!
he gets tackled by two. He's like, "What? Oh!" Gets tackled by two goats, and he's fighting like 7 goats.
Oh damn it, horns.
Oh,
I know we
goodness.
call you Ram Man, but really.
Okay. Well, now we gotta break this up.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We got it covered.
Oh
Yeah,
shit! They
Lewis.
just toss Amrut over the wall.
Oh, how? They don't even have thumbs. Oh, goodness. And Sora's gonna run.
Oh damn it. And heads out to try to help out.
Yeah, you guys just see for like, so this is like presumably the main court, right? There's like a large waterfall slash pond here or whatever, and he gets tossed over the side. You just hear the splash, and then all the goats are like just like, "Meh."
That was not very nice of you all. He has earned his place among us. He does not get to be thrown over the wall.
You see that they just run off because they're too tired because Amrut put a good beating on them.
Man, the
Amrut,
goats up in Clembo's place must have been a lot more civil.
are you still alive down there?
You don't hear a response. I'd imagine eventually you guys will walk out to go check over the wall, but at that point you would hear Judith call out to you.
Oh, well, there's Judith. Judith?
Sora, come on down and I'll introduce you to our new friend Billy, the goat.
Well, hold on. Amrut has been thrown over the wall.
Is he alive?
No, not sure.
Which direction? I'll go look for him.
He got thrown into the waterfall to the west.
Eddie, I'll head that way.
Yeah, I'll go check on him. And he Lois heads on down toward the same direction.
Sora will stay and look and see the goat walking with Judith. Oh, you met another one of our friends that have come here.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
speaks.
She crouches down and scratches his chin. Most goats can speak, we just never can quite understand them.
Yes. I found out that I've inherited this entire place as my kingdom.
That's not
Oh.
true.
Why? But you said I was the leader of the goats, and this is the goats' territory.
Ooh, actually, Sora gets an idea like light bulb just flares up over the top of her head. You are the leader. You are lead security here, Billy the goat.
That's right. And you're not wanted here.
Oh, but
I
I have
see.
many.
I see you to the front gate. Come with me now. Don't do anything. Don't run.
I have some waffles.
All right, you leave after the waffles. Take me to the waffles, servant.
Sora will pull out some of the waffles from her pocket and feed it to the goat. Now, Billy. As leader here, you'll be taking care of the civilians that will come to live here. You will protect them.
Protect, attack, defend.
All of the above.
Yours, yeah, I spell it differently. ATTAC.
Exactly. You will attack any Mouther that tries to come into the city.
You got a mouth on you, don't you? He starts trying to ram you.
Oh, goodness. She just hops over his charge with a high jump.
Judith is laughing her ass off. This might not have gone the way she wanted, but god damn, she's gonna start making more animals talk.
And every time it charges at her, she just jumps up and just keeps doing this.
Well, I'm
until
gonna be
she's
careful because he's busting up the kitchen. He's running right through the floorboards and the cabinets, and he flipped the table.
No, I wasn't gonna bring him in. Oh, you left it. You led him to the.
Yeah, he said he brought him to go eat the waffles.
Well, he said the waffles were in their pockets.
Oh, they're in his pockets. Okay, so he's in the courtyard. Thank you, Aria. He's not ruining anything. No, instead he's just giving himself concussions to run into the wall.
Billy, you're not going to win this fight. You calm down and I'll give you the waffle.
All right.
Here you go. Now please tell your friends not to throw Amrut over the walls, and you can stay here.
Oh, your friend Amrut?
Yes.
He's purple.
And you are, what color is the goat?
So, white, or I guess a grayish. Kind of looks dirty white.
And you're a white goat. I don't see a problem.
He has horns.
And so do you.
I've never heard of him.
Well, he is a great man if you give him a chance.
He is the Ram Man.
No, I'm the Ram Man.
Sora looks to Judith. Your friend here is so entertaining.
Yeah, well, he can speak for an hour or so. Other than that,
How did you find this place, Billy?
I'm a mountain goat. I thought I was the dumb one. This is the mountain.
Oh, it is a mountain. Sorry, this is my first night here.
Oh. Do you pay us to stay here?
Yes,
He-
you can
yes.
eat all the grass you want.
exactly.
He starts eating the grass more than he can have a stomach.
Careful now, Billy, you'll get bloated.
Don't worry. When it goes in, it quickly comes back out.
Ugh.
Sora looked at Judith. We're gonna need to find some kind of like warden or caretaker for all the animals.
Like a herder or something.
A shepherd.
There you go. All right, Billy, get out of here. Go back into the with the others. All right. Make sure this place is safe. See you soon.
All right. Don't ever forget where you came from.
Of course not. You either.
And he runs off, leaping over the walls. And that's when Aria and Lewis, you see that Amrut's in the water. You see that there's two unconscious goats next to the water, and he's laying on the floor, breathing hard.
Do you need a hand?
Those goats are tougher than they look.
I'm afraid they're going to be a little bit of a pest around here if we leave them.
My question is, why'd you piss off the goats?
Well, I saw one sizing my horns up, and I just took it personal.
Inferiority complex, I see.
I slapped the goat, and then all his friends came. And that's the rest she wrote.
So your body has matured, but the rest of you hasn't.
Just sits there embarrassed. He points to the two goats and he goes, "They're not dead, but we could eat them."
Let's hold out on that for a little while.
But he is going to turn to Lewis. Judith and I discovered something very peculiar. The houses in the village, they seem to be just as they were the day that this place vanished, meaning there are personal items, there are children's drawings, there's monogrammed hairbrushes. It is just very peculiar that all this stuff is here, but the people aren't.
Well, when I was talking with Godbrand, they mentioned that they used whatever power they could to try to hide the place once everybody was starting to forget. I'm guessing that the Hollow King probably changed everyone's memory, made them forget what this place was, and kind of just wandered off, hopefully somewhat safe. And Godbrand preserved everything the best they could.
Given that was so long ago, I doubt any of the previous habitants would want to be coming back in. It's something to keep in mind if other things reappear as well.
Hmm.
But I don't think it's a good idea to leave this place empty for too long.
Agreed. My best bet's to head back to the academy, explain the situation, and see what we could do to help manage this place.
Sounds like a plan.
Right. Let's try to meet back up with the others. And, Horns, please don't pick any more fights with the goats.
All right, eye patch.
There's a slight smirk as he continues walking up.
So, did you guys skywrite to make it easier for her to find you, or because you want to keep the location secretive, you're just gonna let her? It might take her 2 days to find you with no assistance.
Oh, no, I would skywrite, but it would just be like a, yeah, definitely. I'd put like a symbol up in the air, like the bat symbol, but for our group.
It's something to be a bit more vague.
Yeah, something that she would know what it is, but
Well, and Aria could message her and let her know that this is us.
Sure. So, at some point, all of you would meet back up. Is there any daytime activities you would like? Because at the earliest, you would arrive at nighttime because it's several hours away. We can skip to that. I just want to make sure I'm not cutting to a nighttime arrival and there's something else you want to do.
Mainly, I need a short rest to get some hit points back.
Sure.
We definitely got the time for that.
Yeah, you have more than enough time to short rest it.
I'm going to be I'm going to be I'm gonna do identify on the ring that I got from a Xerxes, or what's his name? The Silver King's body. It's like a silver ring with the insignia on it, just in case. And then I'm also going to start reading the history book on of Sundale.
Okay. The ring is fortunately it's not magical.
It's okay.
And that's for the books. Are you just gonna take your time with them, or do you want to do like a skim through investigation?
I'm gonna do a skim through because I know the researchers at the paper will do a better go through, but I'll just see what I can do.
Sure, let's see your mess.
What was that?
Oh, let's see an investigation.
All right. I'm definitely gonna burn through these recaps. Inspos.
Are you focused on one book in particular? Because the niche is a lot harder if you're trying to find something important between 3 books that are pretty thick.
Just the Sundale one at first.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'll be doing this like over the next couple days, I think. All right. Investigation. Okay. Oh, let's go, baby.
Oh,
Okay, you got the cream of the crop. So give me 1 second to get my notes. I had some shit I'd feed you, and then there's some shit I feed you.
With the hot dogs.
Which reminds me that my wife likes goat tongue tacos. So
Ooh.
yeah. Just think about these goats since we're on the subject of food. Alright, anyways. How do you find this? I guess a check like that, it's both skill and luck. So when you're thumbing through the book, and of course, you know, some of this stuff is just gonna happen the way it happens because you need to discover what you just discovered. So while you're thumbing through the book, there's a random vial of ink next to you. Maybe you use it to write, maybe it's just there because all the rooms are already outfitted with stuff. In any case, the ink vial gets knocked over at some point while you're investigating the book. And you find some really good general information, and the ink spills onto the page and gets absorbed. And when it gets absorbed, words appear on the page. Who is this?
Oh shit. I'm sorry. Wait, what? The The book says, "Who is this?"
Words appear that spell it out. Think Harry Potter and that one book we've written. But that was
Judith will kind of lean back in her chair, puts her like thumb to her mouth, just kind of thinking. And she will say, why not? In Goblin, she'll say, "Let's begin." And her orders quill will fly over and land on the page. Say, "Hello, this is Judith. Who is this?"
What's your name? Prince Xander.
Prince Xander.
Sorry, Zinder with Xyn. Zin and Ender.
And why are you trapped in this book?
I do not know.
I'm looking to get the information for Sunsdale. That's within these pages, correct?
Yes, my father was Sunsdale's king.
Which one?
Durgus. All that I remember is the family must be preserved. Here I am. The details of why, I'm not sure. But I have most of my memories from my life other than that. It has been at least a day since someone wrote to me.
What was the last thing they, who was the last person and what did they say?
My mother. She made a note to tell me that she loves me still. Even now.
How old are you, Prince Zinder?
I'm not sure how long I was put into the book, but I would gather that I'm 17.
Are they writing in Common or Elvish?
Well, Icarus was mostly a human city, so it's just writing in common.
Okay. Well, I hate to tell you, but I'm sorry to say, at least we're quite a few years in the future from that moment.
Is this a joke? Someone wrote to me just yesterday.
What? No, you said it was your mom.
I did. Or at least it felt like yesterday. And I was closed when I was last opened. And you get the idea with your investigation that he probably doesn't get to track normal days. It's whenever the book is open and closed, it's probably a day for him.
Yeah. Yeah, can I just call you Zinder? Not to do the prince thing, right?
Sure.
Zinder, yeah, there was the Hollow King had taken over your father. And everything in this city, the City of Tears, was frozen in time. And I think maybe you were put in here to help preserve your life, I guess.
That's awful. Are you telling me that my parents that they're dead?
Yes.
The page can't cry, but nothing is written for a while.
I'll just put my hand on the book.
And you see that your a hand is traced. Maybe he pressed it on whatever side he's on, but another hand is traced along your fingers.
I'm trying to just understand more about Sunsdale, so just to help the people that are going to live in the city from now on. So anything you can tell me about.
Oh, there's some back and forth. between the two of you, but to get some of the bulk of the information out, and then of course you can get back into the individual engagements. But he would inform me of a few things. That the City of Tears wasn't the City of Tears when he was alive. It was a royal settlement for only nobility, to include the king. And that's why it was built here next to Icarus, but not inside of it. This is where his family would go with other noble families on vacation, which is why it's a much larger city as opposed to a real big city. So he wasn't aware that it became the City of Tears at some point. He also informs you that prior to being put into the book, he remembers his mother saying stuff to him like, some days his father was there and others he wasn't. But that something has to change because she thinks that he killed his brother, his older brother. Or I suppose his eldest son.
Like he was taking out his potential threats of monarchy.
Precisely. I mean, the 17-year-old doesn't truly understand too much, but I think you would put that together, certainly.
Yeah.
She told me she would come back for me one day and that this was only temporary.
What was your mother's name? Do you know?
It's hard. And you see the books flip quickly. Things Adoria. She was elven. That still is by most standards just human. At least in terms of how long one could live.
Well, if it's okay, I just hold on to you and I guess check in every now and then. So,
Sure. Do you have my other books?
Yeah, I think so. What are your other books?
One of them was about a sunken city, and the other one was about Zion.
Man, there's a part of me that is like untrusting, or at least standoffish a little bit. It's hard to inside a piece of paper, so yes, I do.
All right. Don't wait another 500 years to open this book again.
I won't. I'll talk to you soon.
Guess I wouldn't know. It's the last thing you write since you closed the book.
Jutsu closes the book and looks at the other two books for a moment, but doesn't open them. And we'll wait.
All right. Is there anything else that anyone else would like to do before the nighttime arrival of Minerva?
Just basic physical training.
Sure. You would notice that you draw in quite a crowd. Bunch of goats at the window, fawning over you. All right. In any case, wait a second. One of those is a Billy, but he can't talk no more. Eventually night would come to this location, so we do know it's on the normal cycle. If there was any doubt, hopefully there wasn't. And you would see a ship in the sky, perching right through the clouds, getting ready to land in the largest section, this open courtyard in the center, just before the noble gate. And it is Minerva's ship, just to be clear. And as it does touch down, we take off. 10-minute break. When we come back, we'll finish out the last 30 or 40 strong.
Sounds good.
This is the
So
most.
many
This
kills.
is the most gold I've ever given a party. Low.
I don't feel like bad idea.
Be good, but yeah, good to lose.
I feel like we
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna do a roll call real quick. I'm gonna call your names out in game, so left to right. Aria,
Yeah.
Lewis,
Came back just in time.
Judith,
Yep.
Sora.
Not late.
Sweet. Give me a moment to move you guys back to the map. Oh, I never took you off the map. I guess it's an overview, so it doesn't matter. All right, so as you guys, presumably you would meet them in the court since they're not familiar with the terrain. When one or more of you walk out to the court, you see that Minerva touches down, and that maybe just because the idea of all of this is rather marvelous or insane, but Physician and Polly are accompanying her. She would land and greet whoever came out to see her.
Lois comes out just like waving a hand. Hey.
She has a dramatic curtsy. My lord.
Very funny.
Just Lewis is fine.
Lewis. Well, Lewis, now that you got all of this and presumably a lot of money and influence, and I think I'm ready for that ring you owe me.
Maybe one day.
Please, whenever we should get back to topic, this is quite a dramatic ordeal. And where's that little runt?
He's
Well-
not so little anymore, unfortunately. As Sora walks in from behind Lewis, she nods back behind her towards Amrut.
Great. He's not shorter than me anymore, but he's still a smaller man.
She holds back a laugh.
Emma doesn't say anything, but he does remember that he fought the goats and won. Even though others who saw the fight might have said, might think he lost. In any case, Minerva goes, suppose it is a serious matter, but you can't lie, physician. Even if you're a straight to it kind of guy, this is amazing. How the hell? She sees one of the houses and it's lit. How the hell are all these houses outfitted? Are you telling me in one day you've got this entire kingdom up to par? That's insane. Impossible, dare say.
In reality, it's as it was. As she looks to Lewis to explain.
Let's just say a lot of magic mumbo jumbo.
Magic is always trying to put artisans like myself out of business.
Yeah, gonna be a lot for us to figure out what to do with. But for the time being, we got business to take care of.
All right. Well, I mean, are we sleeping here? It's not exactly the easiest thing to fly in a dark sky. I mean, we could fly over the night. It's not like we'll run into traffic, but there are other things that we cannot see coming in the dark.
I
True.
think that's more than fair, actually.
Yeah, must have been in pain trying to find us.
Yes. There was the symbol that Judith put up there. I don't think we would have found you today at all if not for that. You might have been waiting a few days.
There's more than plenty of rooms to show the rest of you to pick from your own choosing as well. I'll guide you over there if you wish.
Well, I think I'll stay in Lewis's room, I think.
That's more than fair. Be
Well,
warned, there is a bit of a goat problem.
There is entire houses if you guys want to be away from the rest of us.
But to Lewis, I just thought that it's just not enough space in this place for us to be apart, I suppose.
Whatever's most comfortable with you guys. Then Lois kind of like tilts his head away, like not making direct eye contact with her.
The physician doesn't care. He's so logical and doesn't realize the flirting from Minerva that he just tells her he goes, actually, Minerva, there's plenty of rooms. Far more space than they could ever hope to use. You could have an entire hut to yourself if you wished. I was like, come on. They think he's smarter than me? Even I know what's going on here, folks. Pay attention.
Really, you do now, Polly.
Yes.
She just raises an eyebrow like she doesn't believe her.
Good, you probably shouldn't. I don't know what she believes, but it ain't what it is.
Trying not to approach too far into that.
Yeah. So, any questions for these fine folks upon their arrival? Is it okay to leave their ship in the middle? Will the goats get to it? And we're retiring for the night.
Oh, did you bring Aethon for me, Minerva?
Yes, of course.
He hasn't been showing signs of hatching now, has he? I know I've been gone a lot longer than I intended.
Hatch. Yeah, takes the egg out and it's in the... Before there was like a little hole showing the creature. But the hole's been resealed. It's just an egg again.
Oh. I need to make preparations when he starts to get out of there. I need to at least particularly prepare some meat that I can give to him on the side.
Amrut suggests a goat.
If he wants goat, then we will have to make some difficult choices. But yes, goat could be on the table for Aethon.
Yes. Also, this creature here, I had Polly put it into one of the bat tanks to test it out. Don't worry, it's safe. The worst thing it would have done is healed the creature, not hurt it. But it is not what you thought it would be. It's not a Periton.
Oh. What has it turned into something else?
I don't think it's turned into anything. Yeah, maybe the Periton was protecting somebody else's babies. Maybe the Periton stole the egg.
I was questioning why the egg was fertilized when it just laid it on the spot.
You witnessed it lay the egg, or did it merely drop the egg? It's not a Periton.
I suppose now it was maybe either being a thief or it was indeed holding on to a different egg.
Not odd for such a creature to eat eggs, either.
Do you know what is inside of it?
I'm not sure. It's a few theories, but not entirely sure.
Oh, then I'll have to have a variety of food just in case it doesn't eat meat.
Maybe. I mean, right now it looks like it's some type of lizard.
Well, thank you for this, Polly, and thank you, Minerva, for taking such good care of him.
Yes. I always wanted children, but we're never in the cards, it seems.
Sora will pull out some cards from her side that she, as Lewis had brought up some goodies before, she opens up some cards, and they have these dragon imprints on them. I think things will go in your favor soon. And she'll, flick one of the cards to her playfully, which is one of the dragon cards.
Looks at the card and be like, this could be what he is.
Oh, I have no idea how I would even begin raising a real dragon. I'm having enough trouble trying to make sure Mello is okay.
If it was a real dragon, the egg would be about as big as Polly. But we're thinking it could be a pseudo-dragon. Far smaller.
I have never seen such a creature before. It'll be a new experience for me.
It's like a lizard with wings. We can get smart enough to talk eventually.
Almost like having a real child.
Sure. In any case, I guess it's show me around, Lewis. I guess we'll check out this new kingdom of yours.
They have to.
And the physician just goes, in the meantime, if any of you are wounded, I can tend to you. Especially those of you who may need more time to recover to your full strength.
I wouldn't mind some extra patching up. I took a real beating with that last fight.
Now, with the physician, just like in Mother, you would get back one additional hit dice of long rest. So you only get half, you get half plus one. And of course, he's able to reduce your exhaustion faster. Not as relevant right now, but if you ever have 2 exhaustions, you complete a long rest, and the physician is in the base and readily available, then you'll have 0 when you wake up. Because he gets rid of 1 additional. In any case, you guys have any questions or scenes you'd like to play out with these NPCs before we get to tomorrow?
I would, knowing Polly's penchant for sweets, eventually Sora would show her to the kitchens and show her what is still currently available. You are the most proficient pie maker I've ever seen. I figured you'd appreciate seeing a kitchen of almost hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, something like that. Let me ask you some questions about Amrut. You ready? She pulls out a little notebook.
Oh, I am prepared.
I'm not some reporter like that Judith girl. But there's some things I just gotta know. So he looks older, but is he older?
That is still on the table. Oftentimes, I think he acts like an appropriate adult. Other times, I think he acts more like a sadistic man-child.
Okay. Any weaknesses you know about?
Goats aren't his favorite. You give him any weird substance, he'll most likely drink it.
Okay. And what about his vision? Because sometimes with Lewis, I'll stand on his blind eye side and I'll give him the finger. He won't notice.
I think he's a bit more perceptive. He usually checks underneath his own bed before he even goes to sleep.
Okay, good. Because right before you guys set out to fight this Hollow King everyone's raving about, that same night, me and him had a death battle and he almost killed me.
Really?
Yes, he started it all. I mean, I walked into his room and I started punching him in the face when he was sleeping, but he's still, the fact that he hit me back, I mean, that's way out of line.
Sora is going to smile, but she says, then you must be on your toes, because now that he is older, he has far more wisdom to your ways, my dear. So you're going to have to think really outside the box.
That sucks. I had Pogo. See, when Pogo's head can produce a zone of silence, it makes you really good against those magic users. So I had him run after us while we were fighting, and it's kind of funny because all of you were sleeping, and half of the fight was in the room.
Wow, that must have been quite a ordeal.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, but we left the room pretty fast because it looks like Aria wakes up a lot faster than the rest of you. So we went out the room and he threw a dagger and she shows you like a cut on her cheek, like very casually. I launched some pies at him. Of course, they were filled with toxic waste and poison. It was pretty epic, but I will say that he almost killed me. But I think I won.
Wow, we'll chalk that up to another victory of yours, Polly.
Yeah, I just don't know if I should try the bigger one tonight.
How about you draw up some plans and stew it on it for the night? Choose any of the rooms or any of the
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Yours to sleep in.
Is there a room with a good view of his room? Because here's my thing. Like, I get it. He's bigger now, but was he tougher when he was a small guy? Or is he stronger now? Like, you don't know. Maybe he's weaker.
He is certainly taller.
Yeah, but height's not everything.
That is very fair. Yes, there is a room directly opposite of his on the opposite side of the balcony that's currently unattended at the moment.
All right, good. He closes her notepad. All right, I guess I owe you money. She drops a piece of candy on the table and walks away.
Oh, thank you, Polly.
Yeah, don't worry. Hopefully I kill your friend one of these days, but maybe not tonight.
Probably for the best. We still need him to stop all the Mouthers attacking Icarus.
And Polly leaves, gathering all the information she needed.
And I'll add 1 Polly candy to my inventory.
Lol. Any
When
other? Good.
When she goes into that room, she finds Judith there because that's Judith's room.
Well. What do we have here? Competition to kill the big man.
Judith is there this is like when she had just finished up with the book with the young prince. She goes, "Oh, Polly, you guys have arrived. Great. Is a 456 downstairs?
Yep.
Great.
Hey, I was
all right.
thinking that I could stay in your room tonight because I'm terrified of being alone. Thrown inside because she's obviously trying to watch it. Himra, but you didn't hear that conversation.
Yeah. She she looks at, she kind of like has like a little glance or a thought at least of like the alone child that's in the book. He's 17, whatever. And she'll say, actually, I have a lot of work that I need to be doing, so you can just do the room right next door. I'll be close, okay?
All right. She looks, she scopes out the room. She said it can vaguely see into the room. All right, sure.
Jude doesn't really like kids, so.
Yeah. And this one's right.
Yeah. I bet I will go to RPA, but I'll go to 456 and I will show him like all of like I'll show him like a lot of the photos and stuff because he was interested in like the Guido's gate and about what we were doing, so I'll just give him some info.
He sees that you're pretty hurt, and then while you're talking to him, he tells you to sit down in the seat so he can properly crack your bones. But he says when he says crack your bones, it's really healthy for your bones. What he's going to do just sounds. You're going to hear things, you're going to feel things that at first will be uncomfortable, but tomorrow you'll wake up 1,000 times better. And he does remind you that this is his profession. You should trust the physician.
Okay, I've heard this chiropractic is a false medicine, but I will trust you.
Not when you combine it with magic, it isn't. And he's like putting ointments on you, but then cracking it and soothing it into your skin properly. And it's painful as he suggested it would be. Well, tell me, is there anything else you'd like to discuss this day, Judith Bloom?
No, that's really it. Just want to give you all the information that we saw. To maybe it'll help track down any more Mouthers that have been out there. Anything different that's happened on the Mouther Watch? Any new movements?
4 more Mouthers were slain. You're not sure by who. They were slain in a single day, either by an assault from several rune warriors or one very powerful warrior.
You know what area?
Yes, I've annotated them all in this book here. And he writes down on a separate piece of paper and hands it to you. These were the locations and the sites where the Mouthers were. They died about 2 hours apart, and we had determined, using our skills of the general areas, that each one was about 45 minutes apart. So, tacked that on with searching and discovering the Mouthers and dealing with their lairs, we think it might have been a single individual, or a single group, I suppose.
Very interesting.
We may have
Thank you
allies
for that.
out there, Judith.
Yeah, this is maybe the. I'm gonna tell you, we've had a lot of news that it feels like it's constantly a lot of bad news and more problems, and there's a chance that someone out there is helping alongside and is that powerful to take down so many in such a quick succession. She smiles, says, "That is the best news I've heard all day."
Miles and tells you they seem to have gone to the Hollow King's location, but by then we didn't know what was going on. We didn't even remember that we sent a team out. Luckily, our memories seem to be normal now.
You sent us out, right?
Say again?
You sent he didn't know that he sent us out. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, at some point he forgot, because once you were put into his influence, the Hollow King also erases you from the minds of anyone who knows of you, so no one comes looking. It's very, very potent. But he tells you that the moment you sealed the Hollow King away, they immediately remembered and they rushed to that location, but obviously you weren't there anymore. And they also remember that they sent out another party to fight the Hollow King in the past, and that party was presumably slain.
It wasn't Tasha and her group, was it?
No, it's just a previous group that were doing a similar work study back when they had first booted up the machine under Clando's observation. But none of them remember, not Clando, not them, until you guys vanquished the Hollow King. In theory, he probably would not have sent you all, realizing how dangerous the Hollow King was. But luckily, you guys came out on top.
She'll continue to spend some more time with him, but he will also get up to her room and get some sleep because she's tired as shit.
Sure. I'll touch on each of you real quick just to make sure we're not missing anybody. Lewis, are you good tonight?
Yep, should be all fine.
And
And during the night, if Minerva does decide to stay in his room, then he would take the floor.
Sure. I was actually going to ask you, does she sleep in your room? But I wasn't going to ask you for any details. So we'll leave that to the imagination. Maybe you do
Okay.
just sleep on the floor. All right.
Yep.
So the next case, anything else from you, Sora?
Other than making sure that Aethon has a very comfortable place to sit for the night, she still needs some rest to recover some hit points and hit die, so she will turn in for the night.
Okay. And of course, the physician makes his rounds. So while he's in the facility, there's not a lot of people to tend to. You are getting the additional hit die recovery and the -1 exhaustion, which doesn't apply here. Let's see who's next on stream. Rhea?
Maria doesn't usually sleep. She just got that 4-hour trance and she's feeling a little like she's got to get up and do something. So she will walk around the palace, not where we're staying, but like the throne room, looking at the plants in there, seeing if she can tend to anything, maybe kicking up a conversation with one of the guards. She's just kind of puttering around in the night.
So you're putting around the night. You see the guards are a bit down the way. They're gathering the sheep and getting them off, or the goat rather, and getting them off the immediate property behind the royal gates. And then the other one's upstairs patrolling. But while you're walking around, looking and intriguing about the facility, you hear a voice call out to you, sitting on the throne.
Curious. She will turn around and look.
This is a nice place you've got here. Yours?
I'm afraid not, but yet you are sitting on the throne as if it's yours.
Or might just be mine. So I'm wondering.
No, I can assure you it is not. Can she see if this is an illusion or a ghost or something?
Sure, you can do an insight. It's typically what illusion spells are. It looks real. It's kind of dark right now. Only the moonlight. The halls are pretty dark. But Morgan is sitting on the throne, and he just looks at you. His eyes illuminating, glowing, forge like red, like you're heating up an anvil or something. And he gets up and he walks down the steps and he tells you, Ria Roya. Is that correct?
Not pronounced correctly, but close enough. I'm afraid I'm afraid you have a hand on me. I do not know who you are.
Ah, my name is Timothy.
Nice to meet you, Timothy.
Roll another
What
insight.
brings you here in the middle of the night?
Oh, I like to walk through these woods, these forests, and
Take my info if you want it.
well,
Oh, she doesn't trust it anyway. She don't know who he actually is, but she doubts that he's Timothy.
but he tells you, I used to walk these woods, these very mountains. Just stumbled upon this place, I suppose. Thought it was cool. The gate was closed, but no one's guarding it. Just walked around the gate.
I'll have to make sure to fix that.
But I want intruders coming into this land of yours, isn't it?
Yeah, especially people who like to pick the fanciest seat in the room to sit upon.
Who wouldn't want to sit in the king's chair?
Have you ventured anywhere else? It is quite a magnificent kingdom.
He pulls out a drawing. Yeah, just sketching it. No, these lands, they're They're owned by somebody. This little thing right here is sitting right on top of that property.
Curious, do you know who?
I don't know. I heard he's pretty handsome.
Oh, well, I never turn down a handsome face.
But I am intrigued at how this could go unseen for so long when there's just so many eyes in the sky watching over this man's land.
She shrugs. Maybe it's the will of the gods.
Maybe it is the will of the gods. So, I guess I'll see myself out.
She turns her body sideways and her hand gestures towards the front door. After you.
Well, man can get used to a place like this.
As he walks by, she will create a rose. We'll do a deep blue and offer it to him as he walks by to see if he takes it.
Now you see his eyes get really frantic. Not like it's fear, but they're shaking and then they're zooming and twisting. Some type of chronicle. And he looks over the rose and he takes it.
Just a trinket for your visit. But he actually takes it from her hand so he feels physical to her.
Yeah, he feels physical. He looks at it and he crushes any tiny thorns on it.
He crushes the whole thing? Or...
No, just the thorns on the rose.
Oh, okay.
Just a few of them. And he smells.
Like...
Yeah, no, he's not that much of a douchebag. I mean, actually he is, but right now he's playing nice guy. He smells it. The guy, remember, magic. He walks out the door. And right before he closes the door, he looks around with his eyes one more time and he says to you, "You know, me and you, we could be friends."
There are all kinds of possibilities.
All right. See you around, Aria. And how do you say your last name?
Aria Roja.
Roja. Oh. A wine should be named after you. That's quite the name. Then he looks around with his eyes again and walks out.
Once the door closes behind him, she is going to find the nearest guard.
Yeah, it doesn't take you long. In fact, what was odd is that the moment that Morgan left and closed the door, seconds later a guard comes around the corner. It's almost as though this entire engagement was very, very timed. How long he could talk to you and when he needed to walk away.
Excuse me, but did you not see the stranger sitting upon Newell's throne?
We circle through here about every 15 minutes. This is a really large kingdom for the amount of people here. We try to cover the entire ground. But if there's an intruder, then we need to muster. And he pulls out his blade.
Yes, I understand that. I'm sorry for my shortness. I was just kind of startled. I thought at first he was an illusion, but he had some heft to him. And she will describe what he looked like. And eyes that were red like fire. I don't think he was human. I'm not quite sure what he was, but he definitely has his desires on this place. To the point that I'm not so sure we should be leaving in the morning.
We'll search the ground, but even if this place can only fit 7,000 people, that's a lot for us to cover alone. So we may fail you, my lady. We apologize.
Well, please just prioritize the places of significance, of importance. I mean, if he's hiding out in one of the houses in the village, not as big of a deal, but this palace needs to be secure.
I understand. And the animated troop runs and he pulls out a horn and sounds it. And you see that the other soldiers will eventually come. And the rest of you would hear the horn as well. It's not insanely loud, but it's loud enough that if you're like in the immediate king's dominion, not further into the property, you could hear it. And yeah, they gather up the troops, and you see that the three of them begin searching the entire property.
I'm trying to see if Adia has anything to try to kind of track him, but I don't think she does.
Yeah, and you don't know what his eyes were doing, but he seemed like he knew exactly what he was up to.
Yeah, he was mapping the place.
One thing of you that's interesting is on the chair where he sat is a blue rose.
She's gonna walk up to it because her roses are special. They only last like 12 hours. They're not entirely 100% natural. Does it look like it's the exact? Oh yeah, the flower is odorless.
Yeah, it
Doesn't
smells like magic.
but it withers and turns to dust after 24 hours. My bad. I thought it was 12.
Very good.
Is it the same one that she had given him?
The thorns are crushed and there's no scent.
Now she's questioning because they had just got done with this thing that plays mind tricks. If she was imagining it, if she had placed it here on this throne.
Give me a perception or an arcana. Do you want to study the magic of what just occurred, or if you want to see if you have your wits about you? It's hard to say whether he walked through that front door or the back door, but you do remember looking into his eyes at some point, very least, to notice how they looked. And nothing happened, but maybe something did happen.
You said we all heard the
Yes.
horn.
You all heard the horn, yeah.
Judith would make her way down at some point.
Yep.
What's going on?
Sora, get out of bed and join her.
You find Aria sitting on the steps in front of the throne, holding a blue rose on her lap. I'm afraid we've already had our first unwelcome visitor. I'm not much of a sleeper at night, and I was just taking in the area, and there was the weirdest, I wouldn't even call him a gentleman, there was the weirdest man sitting on Lewis's throne. She'll describe his mutton chops. Said his name was Timothy, but his eyes weren't right. They were red, and I don't know, that almost made me think of like an artificer's eyes, and I don't have any proof, but I could have swore he was mapping this place, and he was talking about owning it, and it was just very unsettling. I asked the guards to look for him, but I don't think they're going to be able to find him.
Could I infer that that's of who it is?
I mean, you would certainly suspect, but how could he have found you this fast? I mean, it has been about 2 days. You came here at night, slept, and you're about to sleep another night, so about a day and a half. But yeah, maybe it could be.
Judith just puts her head down and just goes, because she sent a word. She sent a signal.
I thought he was an illusion, but when he took the rose from my hand, he felt entirely physical. He had weight to him.
I can try and run all over the grounds. I am quite fast.
It is
Did you see which way he
dark.
went?
Oh, I thought he went out the front door, but then this rose reappeared on the throne, and I'm not quite sure. I'm sorry. He must have cast something.
Do not worry. I'll at least verify whether that is true. I shall be back in a couple minutes if I don't find anything. And Sora will turn and kind of head out of the front, using her normal speed to kind of run around and see if she can find a random humanoid that's begun squatting in the city.
Yeah, it doesn't take you long, actually. Maybe about you run out the front door, right? The soldiers are looking around. They're prioritizing the main chambers, checking on Lord Lewis and Minerva, whatever they're up to, checking on the rest of the fields, and they haven't made it out to the general population yet. So I'd imagine with them checking the immediate grounds, you would starting the settlement, or at least the only exit. So when you run out into the middle section, you can see that the airship is in the sky about 200 feet flying away.
Oh, that dirty. She stamps her foot for a second and says, I'm gonna have to tell Minerva that her ship is gone. And she will turn around, not looking forward to this, and start walking back.
Not knowing that he stole the airship, Judith is going to. She's going to double check here. Yeah, she'll pull out her quill, and she'll just like speak into her quill, and she will cast sending, and she'll say, "Out for a stroll, are you? If you know where I am, why don't you come back and say hello, face to face?"
There's a moment probably when he's probably processing, thinking of his response, and he goes, "Oh, don't worry, I'll be back soon. Guys, this is my land after all."
And then
I cast another sin to say "fuck you." No, I'm just kidding.
No, man, fuck you, man, no.
eventually Sora comes. You can see her walking back up in a very like sluggish manner, like she's very unenthusiastic. And when she sees Judith and Aria again, she says, "Well, our ride back to the academy has officially been nicked."
Oh,
That was,
good Lord, no.
That was J.P. Morgan.
So
He
I'm
said
gonna
be back.
I'm gonna go tell Minerva. I will deal with whatever fury comes from that.
Oh, Lewis.
Is he wearing the silk robe or?
No, he's just
Like,
like wearing his regular commoner's gear, just no armor. What's all the ruckus about?
I'm afraid your adversaries have already made the first move and stole your girlfriend's ride.
His eyes just like widened for a moment. They did what?
Maria looks to Sora.
So there was apparently a guy sitting on your throne. He left.
J.P. Morgan.
Yes, it's apparently this J.P. Morgan fellow. I left to go see if I could find him. Maybe slap some sense into him, and then see Minerva's ship flying off into the distance. They'd never be seen again.
Just like face palms himself. Well, that's pleasant.
I think you should give her something from your treasury when you break the news to her. It'll make you not die.
Yeah, probably for the best.
Where's 456? Did he sleep on the ship, or did he stay here?
No, 456 is utilizing one of the many rooms in the common room. But for now, he was working on the people that were hurt, so I'd imagine he's probably in the middle of operating on Amrut, who only had 2 hit dice and only 24 health.
Oh,
Jesus.
So yeah, he's upstairs with Amrut. Plus the goat tangled in to help.
Well, if he got here without an airship, he's taken the airship away. How'd he get here?
Maybe he used some form of one-way transportation.
Wait.
He didn't seem like the druidic type to me.
You mentioned he was in charge of divination daily, right?
Yeah, there might be maybe some people might still be here.
My concern is, could it have been possible that he may have seen this place in a vision?
Possible, but at the same time, if he has anyone that would any way of patrolling the airspace or whatever, and he sees my signal that I put up earlier. It led him right here. So that is my fuck up. But there might still be people here.
I need to do a thorough search of the grounds. Round up any people.
Let me see if Godbrand might have any idea. They seem to have a decent idea of when other people show up. Well, granted, that was a ghost they detected, but
What?
maybe they'll be able to figure out people.
In the meantime, I'll go up to the throne and see if there's any like tracks or anything that he might have brought with them or something. I don't know. Looking for anything to see if what direction it came from.
Investigation.
I'm still exhausted, right?
With the physician here, we'll say that since this happened like 2-3 hours later, after he was kind of bored, you got at least a short rest, and that's when he would have removed your exhaustion.
Okay. Investigation.
Really solid. You see that there's some dandruff on the throne.
Jesus.
But he was very careful coming in here. If there was a trace, you would have found it. He is certain that he was very careful not to even get dirt on his boots. You just have this eerie feeling that if anyone's a professional at finding stuff out, it's probably one of your major competitors, Divination Daily. They do specialize in divination magic, which is almost every school of scrying and spying comes from divination.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he has visions can explain some things. If he had a vision of this place and so he bought all the land and was keeping an eye out for it.
Mm.
But still, I don't like it. He made me unnerved.
I'm sorry, Ria. He is the epitome of a slime ball.
Well, if he is, then I don't imagine too many people will miss him when he's gone.
I mean, that got dark really quickly, but I'm right there with you.
Well, just because he's showing a very greedy side of himself, I don't think he deserves to die.
I mean, he doesn't have to die, but it would be nice to teach him a lesson or two, breaking and entering and all.
Oh, of course. You name it, and I shall slap off that pathetic excuse of side buttons.
As long as he pays back for the ship or returns it, I'm happy.
There's also the
what?
Oh,
shit. Nervous, like screaming at the physician who's like overheard, who informed her as she was walking through you guys.
Slowly looks over his shoulder, just like pure terror in his eyes.
There's like an explosion of fire. He comes flying down on a fire broom, and as she shoots by, she goes, "Who knows him best? Get on the broom. We're going after him."
Judith will put her hand up and head to the broom.
And before there's any arguments, and I'm sure some of them starts, and once Judith gets on that broom, she shoots out on her broom of flying towards the ship. Whether she'll be able to catch up, she's not sure because the ship's pretty fast. But she'll be damned if she didn't try.
Lewis, after all of this, just like lets out a sigh. I had a feeling she would have done that.
Sorry, Lewis. If I could fly, I could help.
It is what it is. She'll eventually make her way back here.
That Sora is putting out fires.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of fire, you see the physician on the floor. He goes, "Who helps the physician?"
Oh.
Polly, help!
Polly comes out of her room. She's got notes. You can see that. So you don't know this, but just because it's fun, he's contemplating like Amrut just got fed the ointment that he's sleeping really heavy because he has to heal. This is the best time to take him out. And then she helped the physician who's half his body's on fire because of Minerva's spontaneous outburst. She is a fireborn. Or she's a fire roomborn. And yeah, she after a while she pouts. I just kill him next time. She jumps off the side and floats over to the physician and helps you put out the fire.
Oh. Seriously, Lewis, if you do not marry her, you may end up dying.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Well, how tough is this guy anyways, says Polly. Is Minerva and Judith going to be able to handle this Morgan guy?
I would
believe-
love to join them. Have you any ideas on how we could get out there?
I mean, I'm not as fast as that broom. I mean, we can start walking, I guess. But no.
I mean, I could follow from the ground, but I can't do much.
Perhaps we scour the grounds and see if he left anybody behind.
All right.
No,
Try to check in with Godbrand and see if they have any idea.
Ah, yes, your magic dragon. That's a better idea.
Ooh, you can take my new portrait down there. I would love to know what they think.
Oh, I think that thing should be hanging in the throne room.
Not with this J.P. Morgan fellow about. I don't want him ruining it.
Okay.
We shall bring it out when Lewis is fully recognized as a great king. And then when he stops, dressing like one, and she looks at his commoner clothes. Seriously, did you not get like some royal pajamas?
What's wrong with what I'm wearing?
It looks uncomfortable.
Does the job.
Start holding your head high, Lewis, or this man will never take you seriously.
I'll work on it.
You can start by wearing some nice pajamas.
For now, let's try to get this situation handled. We'll deal with that.
Fine.
Aria will hold her hand to the side of her mouth and just kind of lean over to Sora a little bit. I guess we should be glad he was wearing anything.
Do not assault my mind with that image now.
She just smiles and turns around to, I don't know, go do something else.
Lewis is completely oblivious because, 7 passive. And makes his way down to the treasury.
Okay. So you make your way down to the treasury. Don't worry. All the gold's there. But we're going to find out when you ask that dragon next week as a broom goes shooting through the sky. Beautiful in the back of it, and the airship in the way, and Morgan standing, rolling towards the front. He turns around with golden eyes. He looks at Minerva and Judith. Minerva dives down, landing onto the ship, rolling, and releases a fireball to his face. When he turns around, though, the fireball hits him, and he disappears, and he's standing behind Judith. Oh, how I've waited for this moment. One line.
J.P. Morgan.
Judith Bloom.
Get back our ship, and let's talk about this like civilized individuals, or you will die crying.
Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. And he claps his hands, and the ship begins falling from the sky. And he doesn't seem to be bothered by it, but you see that you and Minerva need to hold on to something. And Minerva yells, "Grab the broom! It's stationary!" She claws her way up to the broom, which It's falling with the ship, but not falling out of like space, not moving at all. And she looks towards Morgan, and he gets ready to throw another fireball, but his eyes glow again. He tosses it behind herself because she's super smart, and it actually explodes right into his face. And then as he gets up, a little bit of his hair shins, and a really angry expression. Session ends.
Oh.
You got this, Judith.
I'm not fully healed.
Oh no! We did get a short rest in.
They did get a short rest then, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll do a short rest.
You should have at least
Okay, good.
You hit that shit. So we're gonna find out let's go ahead and spotlight this mofo real quick.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
All right, everyone. That is the end of this episode on Offense to the Past, episode 35. We didn't have Amrut this week, but hopefully we'll have him next week. We do hope you enjoyed this show. I know it's mostly RP, but that's an important part of the game. Everyone say goodbye to the stream.
Bye-bye, stream.
Goodbye.
It's your boy Falcon, and it's time to fly out and roll those credits.
Out of fear, we kept running, tried to hide away. Can you hear? War is coming, beckoning our fate. This is the day that we stand up. This is the day we fight. We'll take our place, we won't give in. Our victory's in sight. Only a sword in our hand, but we enter the lion's den. We're not waiting for a war.